Welcome back in part 2 of BBC. Let's continue. The British Broadcasting Corporation came into existence on 1 January 1927, and Reef, newly knighted, was appointed its first Director General.
To represent its purpose and stated values, the new corporation adopted the coat of arms, including the motto, "Nation shall speak peace unto nation."
British radio audiences had little choice apart from the upscale programming of the BBC.
Reef, an intensely moralistic executive, was in full charge.
His goal was to broadcast all that is best in every department of human knowledge, endeavor, and achievement. The preservation of a high moral tone is obviously of paramount importance.
Reef succeeded in building a high wall against an American-style free-for-all in radio, in which the goal was to attract the largest audiences and thereby secure the greatest advertising revenue.
There was no paid advertising on the BBC. All the revenue came from a tax on receiving sets.
Highbrow audiences, however, greatly enjoyed it.
At a time when American, Australian, and Canadian stations were drawing huge audiences cheering for their local teams, with a broadcast of baseball, rugby, and hockey, the BBC emphasized service for a national rather than a regional audience.
Boat races were well covered along with tennis and horse racing, but the BBC was reluctant to spend its severely limited airtime on long football or cricket games, regardless of their popularity.
John Reef and the BBC, with support from the Crown, determined the universal needs of the people of Britain and broadcast content according to these perceived standards.
Reef effectively censored anything that he felt would be harmful, directly or indirectly.
While recounting his time with the BBC in 1935, Raymond Postgate claims that BBC broadcasters were made to submit a draft of their potential broadcast for approval.
It was expected that they tailored their content to accommodate the modest, church-going elderly, or a member of the clergy.
Until 1928, entertainers broadcasting on the BBC, both singers and talkers, were expected to avoid biblical quotations, clerical impersonations, and references to drink or prohibition in America, vulgar and doubtful matter, and political allusions.
The BBC excluded popular foreign music and musicians from its broadcasts while promoting British alternatives.
On 5 March 1928, Stanley Baldwin, the Prime Minister, maintained the censorship of editorial opinions on public policy that allowed the BBC to address matters of religious, political, or industrial controversy.
The resulting political talk series, designed to inform England on political issues, were criticized by members of Parliament, including Winston Churchill, David Lloyd George, and Sir Austen Chamberlain.
Those who opposed these checks claim that they silence the opinions of those in Parliament who are not nominated by party leaders or party whips, thus stifling independent, non-official views.
In October 1932, the policemen of the Metropolitan Police Federation marched in protest at a proposed pay cut.
Fearing dissent within the police force and public support for the movement, the BBC censored its coverage of the events, only broadcasting official statements from the government. Throughout the 1930s, political broadcasts have been closely monitored by the BBC.
In 1935, the BBC censored the broadcasts of Oswald Mosley and Harry Pollitt.
Mosley was a leader of the British Union of Fascists, and Pollitt a leader of the Communist Party of Great Britain.
They had been contracted to provide a series of 5 broadcasts on their party's politics.
The BBC, in conjunction with the Foreign Office of Britain, first suspended this series and ultimately cancelled it without the notice of the public.
Less radical politicians faced similar censorship.
In 1938, Winston Churchill proposed a series of talks regarding British domestic and foreign politics and affairs that was similarly censored.
The censorship of political discourse by the BBC was a precursor to the total shutdown of political debate that manifested over the BBC's wartime airwaves.
The Foreign Office maintained that the public should not be aware of their role in the censorship.
From 1935 to 1939, the BBC also attempted to unite the British Empire's radio waves, sending staff to Egypt, Palestine, Newfoundland, Jamaica, India, Canada, and South Africa.
Reef personally visited South Africa, lobbying for state-run radio programs, which was accepted by South African Parliament in 1936.
A similar program was adopted in Canada.
Through collaboration with these state-run broadcasting centers, Reef left a legacy of cultural influence across the Empire of Great Britain with his departure from the corporation in 1938. Experimental television broadcasts were started in 1929 using an electromechanical 30-line system developed by Jean-Logie Gerd.
Limited regular broadcasts using this system began in 1934, and an expanded service, now named the BBC Television Service, started from Alexandra Palace in November 1936, alternating between an improved Gerd mechanical 240-line system and the all-electronic 405-line Marconi EMI system, which had been developed by an EMI research team led by Sir Isaac Schoenberg.
The superiority of the electronic system saw the mechanical system drop early the following year, with a Marconi EMI system the first fully electronic television system in the world to be used in regular broadcasting. The success of broadcasting provoked animosities between the BBC and well-established media such as theaters, concert halls, and the recording industry.
By 1929, the BBC complained that the agents of many comedians refused to sign contracts for broadcasting because they feared it harmed the artist by making his material stale, and that it reduces the value of the artist as a visible music hall performer.
On the other hand, the BBC was keenly interested in a cooperation with recording companies who, in recent years, have not been slow to make records of singers, orchestras, dance bands, etc. who have already proved their power to achieve popularity by wireless.
Radio plays were so popular that the BBC had received 6,000 manuscripts by 1929, most of them written for stage and of little value for broadcasting. Day in and day out, manuscripts come in, and nearly all go out again through the post, with a note saying we regret, etc.
In the 1930s, music broadcasts also enjoyed great popularity. For example, the friendly and wide-ranging organ broadcasts at St. George's Hall, London by Reginald Fort, who held the official role of BBC staff theatre organist from 1936 to 1938. We will continue about BBC in part 3.